Dear students, greetings for the day. Today we will study preparation of fabrics for garment making. Objectives: to know about basic terms used in garment making. To acquire knowledge on the methods of preparing the fabrics for garment construction. Many fabrics such as woven, knitted, bonded, laced materials etc. are used in garment construction, and they need to be prepared before they are cut into different parts and attached. This avoids any distortion during construction and contributes to neat finishing of a garment that will augment the final look as well as the fall of the garment. While buying the fabrics, checking for any flaws and even width throughout the length will help. The fabric should also have proper closeness of yarns according to weave. As majority of fabrics used for apparels are woven fabrics, some of the basic terms used in woven fabrics need to be learnt. Basic terms used in woven fabrics: selvage. Selvage or selvage is the finished self-edge of a fabric. It runs lengthwise on both sides binding the warp threads. It is formed when the crosswise yarns turn over in the direction at the edge of the fabric while weaving. Warp yarns in extra number are placed on edges while weaving to make the selvage stronger. Selvage can withstand the strain during use and generally half an inch 1.25 centimeters. Selvages are common in woven fabrics. Warp and weft threads. All woven fabrics have two sets of yarns. The warp is lengthwise and weft is crosswise. Warp yarns are always stronger than the weft yarns as warp yarns lie straight on the loom during weaving, often plied to withstand the strain of weaving and run parallel to selvage. Weft yarns are the other set of yarns interlacing with warp at right angles and run perpendicular to selvage. They are also termed as wove for filling. Weft yarns are less strong but stretch more, providing comfort to the wearer. Grain, on grain and off grain are the general terms used in clothing construction. Whether or not the yarns in the woven fabric are at right angles to each other at the time of fabric being converted to an end-use product, i.e. garment, household article like cushion cover, shoulder bag etc. On grain or grain perfect refers to a fabric in which warp and weft run exactly right angles to each other. The term on grain is also used to indicate the garment piece that is cut on straight grain, keeping the lengthwise grain line of pattern parallel to the selvage of the fabric. Grain, On grain and off grain are the general terms used in clothing construction. Whether or not the yarns in the woven fabric are at right angles to each other at the time of fabric being converted to an end-use product. I.e. garment, household article like cushion cover, shoulder bag, etc. On grain or grain perfect refers to a fabric in which warp and weft run exactly right angles to each other. The term on grain is also used to indicate the garment piece that is cut on straight grain, keeping the lengthwise grain line of pattern parallel to the selvage of the fabric. Preparation for cutting. After the fabric is purchased, it should be tested for any flaws. With regard to the grain, if there is any problem, fabric needs to be straightened. The following are the methods employed for making all types of fabrics ready for cutting. Fabric inspection. Inspecting the fabric carefully, holding in light for any flaws. If flaws like heavy threads, loose threads, pulled yarns, knotted yarns and misprints are found, the fabric may be avoided while buying, or those flaws should be marked to avoid the spots during cutting. To even the edges, checking the fabric edges for evenness. The edges of firm fabrics can be torn. Delicate fabrics like silks, chiffons, novelty weaves should not be torn by pulling a crosswise thread. The edges of the fabrics can be checked for evenness and grain perfection. Clip the selvage one side and gently pull a crosswise thread. Avoid breaking the thread by gently easing along the puckered line. Cut across the fabric from selvage to selvage along that line. It is easy to cut across a crosswise thread in loosely woven fabrics and in fabrics with prominent crosswise threads. Straightening the fabric. After the edges are made even, the fabric can be folded in half lengthwise, matching the selvages together. Place the folded fabric on rectangular table with selvages exactly in line with the long edge. If the ends of the fabric lie on top of each other and form a right angle with the selvages, the fabric is considered straight. If the ends of the fabric do not lie on each other to make a right angle to selvage, the fabric is off grain and needs further straightening. Pulling the fabrics off grain. While giving temporary finishes such as starching and calendering, sometimes the fabric may be produced off grain. The simplest method of making these fabrics grain perfect is to pull the fabrics along biased directions. By placing the open fabric on a flat surface, notice the crosswise threads running somewhat diagonally. Pull along true bias lines firmly and strongly and hold for a few seconds before moving to the next position. Steam press method. Fabrics can be straightened with less effort in wet condition. It takes moisture in to relax the threads enough to change the position. If fabrics are greatly out of line and do not respond to stretching, Baste both the selvages together. Sprinkle water and smoothen with hands. By using a hot or a steam iron, press diagonally along the bias lines till it straightens. Immersion method. Washable fabrics respond well to this treatment. Fold the fabric in half lengthwise, matching selvages as before. Tack along the selvages and the other two sides. Immerse the fabric in water until it is completely soaked. Squeeze out excess water and place it on a flat surface and allow it to half dry. Pull gently on the bias in the direction opposite to the higher off-grain edges until fabric is grain perfect. Dry it on a flat surface and press smooth and flat with a steam iron and remove the tacking stitches. Crease-resistant rayons, resin-finished cottons cannot be straightened. If these fabrics are selected and stitched into garments, the drape and durability aspects are to be sacrificed. Preparing non-washable fabrics. For non-washable fabrics like woolen, fold the fabric in half lengthwise and baste along the selvages and the other sides. Wring out a sheet or a towel in warm water and place it on a flat surface. Lay the folded fabric on the wet sheet and smooth out wrinkles. Fold the sheet loosely in half over the fabric and allow it to remain folded for 8 to 10 hours. Then remove the fabric and allow it to dry flat. Pull along the biased lines gently and press flat and smoothen with steam iron or dry iron using damp press cloth. Silk and synthetic materials do not need any pre-shrinking treatments, but most of the lining and interlining materials need shrinking. Preparing knitted fabrics. Knitted fabrics of good quality are given shrink-proof finishes. If distortion is seen in these fabrics, it is better to avoid them as it is not possible to straighten them. Knits that had not received a permanent finish, such as woolen knits, can easily be straightened. Fold the fabric along a single lengthwise wale, baste it in position and steam press the folded edge. Considering it as a selvage, straighten the knit as in woven fabrics.